Kids that are born in Baltimore City are born with a hustle in their hearts, this fire and drive to go out and get it, really. Sometimes when it gets announced, right, that first baseman Maxwell Costes from Baltimore, I wish they said Baltimore City. I'm from the inner city that everybody always overlooks and misunderstands. And I'm a representation of what this city can produce. I have a platform. Why not use it to do some good stuff? I have problems too. It's scary to put it out there, but it might help somebody. That's who I want to be in this life. Like someone that inspires people. My name is Maxwell Costes. I'm from Baltimore City, Maryland, and this is my home.
My dad and my older brother, we used to come out here all the time, like just to practice basically. We didn't have any fields, like actual baseball fields really to practice on. So, usually we come out here during the weeknights, like after school, and just throw against the wall over there.
I think my childhood in Baltimore, I don't think I could have asked for any more, to be honest. I grew up in an area where I was able to go and do a lot of different things. In some cases, like if you just cross a few streets, you'll get to houses that look like mansions and castles, but then a few streets over, you'll get to boarded up homes. I got to meet and experience a lot of different people, and I feel like that kind of helped me become such a compassionate and understanding person.
My dad and I drew this, so we could basically practice making throws and stuff. If you look at the ground here, there's cracks all over the ground, there's broken glass and stuff, so having to practice on something like this made me a better fielder. Thankfully this is still on here because it's kind of cool. We threw a base right here, and we have to do our best to throw the ball in between those white lines.
Talking about that spirit of Baltimore, I feel like that's what it is right there, right? That idea of trying to find any way to, do what you got to do. My dad would take wiffle balls while we were out at the blacktop and he'd throw them to us. And that's why we did practicing hitting different pitches and stuff. That's kind of where I got my own drive and my own spirit from. This idea of trying to find any possible way to get ahead, any possible way to get yourself better.
This is for me and my brother used to play growing up, right? And I don't really get to come back that much, right? So it's nice to see that people are still playing here. It's nice to see little kids playing baseball without any stress in the world, right? Here, right, I played RBI here, right? RBI is returning baseball to inner cities. I was playing against kids and with kids who were like me. I didn't feel alone anymore. This place is like hallowed ground.
You could say that baseball has kind of been in my blood since day one. Where I live is down the street from where the old Memorial Stadium used to be. My earliest memories are being in the upper deck of Camden Yards watching Melvin Mora, Miguel Tejada, Brian Roberts. Baseball was kind of the game that appealed to me the most because it kind of let me be me.
We're at Northwood Field, right? And this is where one of the leagues my brother and I used to play in. The field all the way down at the end down there, that's actually where I hit my first home run at. My mom would sit and be able to see my brother playing down there on the team field, and she could watch me playing on the field right here at the same time. My dad would be either coaching me or my brother, so after he finished coaching me, you could see him jogging down ready to go down here to coach my older brother, basically.
I couldn't really imagine not playing baseball in college. My dad played college at an HBCU. My older brother, he's currently with an Astros organization. He played here also, and so now I'm here too. I ended up choosing Maryland over Princeton. Maryland is one of the top public universities in the nation, right? So it's not like I could say, there's not good academics here. I play in the Big Ten, which is one of the Power 5 conferences, so I can't say the competition isn't good. Maryland was the best option for me, really. It continues this family tradition of togetherness we have, right? My dad is probably sitting in the back rows over there with his hood up and shades on because he doesn't want to make me feel nervous or anything like that. Mama Costes is always up in like the top left corner of the stadium right here, and she's waving this giant flag, and every time I get a hit, she'll stand up and start waving it around. It's awesome, right?
Maxwell Costes in the plate. That ball is going back, and that ball is gone.
My freshman year, I got all these accolades. I got everything any athlete could ask for, and I still felt terrible. That's when I really started to learn about like how important mental health is. Maybe I'm hallowed ground, a place deserving of reverence for the stories I hold. Maybe I might not be able to shatter these walls yet, but I can take the first step and take down the Braden Martyr. Maybe believing that I must be without flaw in order to be enough, to be worthy of the things I desire, left me blind to the inevitability of my own imperfections. Maybe one day I will remember that the statement, that the very notion of I love myself in a world that does everything it can to instill in me hesitant at this very idea, is the most powerful and most rebellious victory that I can embrace. I remember just being so anxious all the time. Like I was having trouble sleeping. I wasn't eating, right? Like I was always so jumpy. Like, you know, if somebody would have come up and talked to me, like I would be like kind of shaking a bit if I wasn't expecting it. And I'm never going to forget, like, you know, I had, you know, one of my friends had to call like the national helpline for me because I was having a panic attack in a hotel room once. Being, you know, vulnerable is something that's really hard, but it's the most relieving experience it could be. To actually just be able to get all your problems and insecurities and fears, just to get that off your chest, there's nothing like it to me. I kind of just carry my book wherever I go with me in case like I could get a really good idea about something. At the time, like I always felt that I had trouble centering my thoughts. And so I got a journal and just started writing down in the journal like whenever a random thought popped in my head. And then all of a sudden, like I would have 2 pages worth of stuff and I'd be like, okay, like, you know, how can I make all this connect? And then I'd have a poem. Poetry is just a way to kind of like clear my mind and, you know, make me feel peaceful. I have a platform where I can reach a lot of people. And I think that what I write in my poetry is stuff that everybody goes through. When I finally got myself into a good mindset and a good like state of mental health, like that's kind of when I decided like to be like a mental health advocate. Even though it's personal and even though it's scary to put it out there, like it might help somebody. I guess in the end, right, like my horrible and bad experience like turned into something that could be useful. I never really thought about like the platform I could have or the people I could touch just playing a game. I couldn't imagine myself like when I was younger being somebody like this. I'm kind of a representation of the city now. Being born and raised in a city like Baltimore, I just don't think there's anything like it. Like I was exposed to different ideas. I was exposed to different mindsets. I was exposed to the different ways to live life. And I was given the options to choose who I want to be, how I want to be, and what facets do I want to put my passion and energies. I want to be the next in line of all these great athletes that come out of Baltimore that represent the city well. Like, I want to be a part of that. At the end of the day, I kind of just want to, you know, use the gifts I have to affect positive change in the world. And I like to think that just being me, hopefully would inspire to do what you can do to make the world better, no matter how small it is.
Batting fifth, a junior from Baltimore City, first baseman number 4, Maxwell Costes.
Maxwell Costes, he's gonna come home